Yo, what up, Nyakos? It's your buddy Philko here reporting live from your mama's house, doing my things I usually do. And the video is in the link in the description. It's about 3 minutes long. You can actually go watch it while you listen to me because the sound of the video is not very important. You can watch it some other time, but though the guys chasing them are basically just screaming racist, Nazi scum, blah 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 blah. This went down in Dublin, and basically what it is it's a bunch of anti-racists attacking, beating up, and chasing a bunch of racists. Calling them Nazis, neo-Nazis, whatever the fuck, fascists, and beating the shit out of them a little bit and chasing them into a store where I'm sure they beat the shit out of them even further. But why do I want to make a video about this? Well, this kinda expands on the last video I made when I was talking about immigrants in Europe and stuff. And how, some people think they shouldn't have any foreigners in their country, and Europe's only for white people, which it isn't. And then, like I said, it'll never be. Multiculturalism isn't something that's really, I don't see it as forced upon you. It's a part of reality. This earth. I know I kind of sound like a hippie. What I'm trying to say is, we all are citizens of certain places, but each country typically has a policy to allow foreigners to come in if they meet certain criteria and they behave a certain way. That makes perfect sense. So I'm not saying you gotta let in every single refugee or every single immigrant into your country. Of course, if you have too many, it can make things unstable, and I understand that. But every country has some type of immigration policy. That's it. Every country has some immigration policy. So you're never gonna have a white-only country. All those people need to get off it. It's not happening. You're gonna get beat up just like these people did. And they got beat up by other white people. That's what kills me. What kills me when I watch these videos, there's a lot of these videos lately of neo-Nazis getting beat up by anti-racist white people. What kills me is, why don't I see more videos of black people doing this? What the fuck? Every time I see a video of black people being violent, they're always fucking beating each other up. Well, yeah, this is white people beating each other up. But see, unlike you guys, I don't model myself behind what white people do. I should be seeing way more black people beating up racist white skinheads in America than I do watching these anti-racist white people beat them up all over Europe. Where the black people at? Busy fighting each other. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'll go on with that some other time, man. And what's even sadder? There was this video. It's still on YouTube. It was a Crip. He was a real popular Crip dude, and he heard the KKK was going to march. He tried to gather an anti-protest march, and it never went down. Not enough people gave a fuck to do it with him. So fucking disappointing, man. So fucking disappointing. Had it been a blood gang march, the Crips would have been there, right? And he tried to get people from other gangs and everything. A beautiful thing to do. They didn't do it. Wow, man, I tell you. Anyway, what was I? So yeah, what I want to talk about in this video is that how Europe's really getting divided into two. Actually, into three really, but a lot of things are being thrown on the far left, on the far right, where it's actually neither. So for example, Pegida, you can say it's far right, but it might have a change very soon, and I'll tell you why. But right now, Pegida is basically far right. And why is it far right? Because they have a lot of knuckleheads in it that make it look bad. That's why Pegida is far right, and it will always be looked at as far right, most likely, because they have a lot of knuckleheads in it, a lot of people who are stupid, and they basically don't understand how the world works. They think they can, say white power and all these things and think that's going to help them. It's not going to help you. Your own people are going to fuck you up. These are your own people here. These are your own people beating your ass. Your own people who don't like your rhetoric and bullshit. You understand? But Pegida has a new leader, Tommy Robinson. And I'm going to talk about him because he's the most interesting white man in history and the most misunderstood white man in history. I'm going to go on record and say this. I don't hate Tommy Robinson. If I met him, I'd love to have a conversation. Tommy Robinson is probably looked at as a new Hitler to a lot of people, but he's not. He's really, really, really not. Tommy Robinson is not. This guy is intelligent. He's sincere. I mean, he says some things that are a little crazy, but I don't think he's racist at all. I've never heard him say anything racist. He does a lot of smart things to move away from racism. He gets beat up by everybody. He gets beat up by the Muslims, get beat up by the Nazis. He fucking beats up the Nazis. He's gotten in a fight with certain Islamists. Like, this dude's a street hooligan. He goes around fighting and shit all the time. But what's interesting is Tommy Robinson is the leader of the people who are getting beat up in this video being called Nazis. But Tommy Robinson isn't one. Because neo-Nazis don't like him because he's too, like, much of a nigger lover or something. You understand what I mean? But I'll get to Tommy Robinson in another video. But this is what's happening in Europe. There's a big divide, man. There's a huge divide in Europe right now. It's crazy how you have so many people who are just anti-racist, and then you got some people who are not really racist. They're just kind of on the, we need to control this immigration issue. And I understand that. But then you have the idiots from the far right who are saying no immigrants, get rid of them all, Europe's for white people only. And the people who are in the middle who say things like, look, immigrants aren't really bad, it's just we have too many, and a lot of them who are coming right now don't agree to follow our rules, we have to do something. They're getting thrown onto the side of the assholes saying no immigrants, whites only. So the people in the middle can't really have a voice without looking like the far right. So this is Pegida. They're just the people against the Islamization of the West and shit like that. Some of them really don't have any racist views. They're just like, hey, we have a lot of people here who follow the Muslim religion and they're doing a lot of things to our women that are illegal and that the girls don't want. And we need that to be looked into. We need the cops to stop doing their job. That's basically all some of them are saying. But right next to them are the same people who say things like, let's get rid of all the Muslims, and they say rude things like Allah was this, Allah was that. So you see, it's the rude, disrespectful dumbasses that's going to fuck it up for the people who actually care and want to do things that are, in my opinion, just the logical thing to do. You have a problem in your country, handle the problem. The problem isn't multiculturalism, so to say. The problem is you have too many, too soon, and you have police force and government who are afraid to look racist. That's the problem. They have to do their fucking job. They have to do their job. Get rid of the illegals. Anyone who has a problem with someone saying, we're going to get rid of all the illegal immigrants, what the fuck is your problem? What, they have to be a lawless country? Of course they should get rid of the illegals. If that's what they want to do, let them fucking do it. Why not? Tell me one reason they shouldn't get rid of illegal immigrants. That doesn't make sense. If you say anything like, oh, well, people can do whatever they want. No, they can't do whatever they want. Like I said, every country has an immigration policy. I didn't say every country should have open borders. I said almost every important country has an immigration policy. The policy is to control immigration, how many, how often, what criteria. All that stuff is perfect sense. It's normal. But you can't just let anybody just run into your country like things are just going to be normal. They're just going to blend in perfectly. No, there's going to be some anarchy if you take too many too fast. So, you know, I feel it from both sides, but here, a lot of people in the middle are getting beat up because they're hanging around people from the far right. That's the problem. The left, they're all together. They're all together. But a lot of people from the middle who don't even have a problem with homosexuality get thrown with the people on the far right who often have a problem with homosexuality. You see? So it's like two sides of assholes. You have the extreme Islamists, the ones who want Sharia law to take over London and all of the UK and Germany, and then you got the other side who want whites only. These two people are the problem, and what's sad is people in the middle sometimes get thrown on either side that they're not really a part of. A lot of Muslims don't want Sharia law to take over Europe and the UK, but they're thrown onto that side a lot of times because of the extreme Muslims in those countries who want to do those things. You understand? So it's anarchy over there right now. It's kind of crazy in Europe. They wilding out. And in the UK, they wilding out over there. I'm telling you. They're fighting themselves. They are fighting themselves. Every time there's a Pegida march, there's an anti-Pegida march right next to it. They are fighting themselves over this stuff. That is crazy. It's going to be like a civil war. They're going to fight. They're going to fight each other so much, they're going to run out of numbers, then the other guys are just going to fuck them all up. But they are divided and they're fighting themselves. There might be a civil war in Europe, because this thing actually has been getting worse over the past 4 years, and it doesn't seem to be getting better. It doesn't seem to be getting better. I think the answer lies in the middle, and I think Tommy Robinson may have the answers. I think he may have the answers. So I'll make a video about him next video, most likely. And I'm out, Nichols. Later.
With the strap.